Hi, this is Grace Pamela at Summerana.com, and this is my tutorial on showing you how to use the cloud brushes in the Sky Builder Action and Brush Collection. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my first image, and I already have my actions uploaded here. So this is my Summerana Sky Builder Action Collection, and I went and I uploaded them, and I also uploaded my cloud brushes down here. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to want to do, if I already have some color in my sky and there's no clouds, you can go ahead and start putting your clouds right over that. But if you are starting from scratch, the Action Collection has the ability to help you add more life and color to your images. So I'm going to go ahead and change background sky color and press continue. And I'm just going to select any random color here. You can later change it. I'm going to bring my opacity up, and I'm going to use a soft white paintbrush. So to use a soft brush, I'm going to select this brush here, and you can bring the hardness down to 0. And I'm just going to use a regular brush. I'm not going to use my cloud brushes yet. And then I'm going to select this layer mask here, the black one, and paint with the white brush in there. Now I'm just going to do a rough job here. If you're doing this for a client image, you're going to want to take your time a little bit more. If you're unsure where you missed, you can select the backslash key on your keyboard, and then you can kind of see there's some spots here that I missed. And again, it does not have to be perfect. You can come back in and erase it back off. And you can also adjust the opacity so you can kind of see it a little better. Now we're going to be brushing a lot of this off of her because we're going to be blending it a little better after this. So I'm just kind of getting a general color here. If you make any mistakes, just change the color to black, and you can come in and paint it off where you did not actually mean to put it. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Now, a real sky will not just be super dark all around. So a real sky would have usually darker on top and then lighter on the horizon here. So I'm going to bring my brush down, select my black brush, and I'm going to make a really big soft brush, and I'm just going to start erasing it off the bottom here. You know, I'm actually going to bring my opacity down a bit more. Actually, I'm going to have the flow up and the opacity down. I'm just going to do it little by little around my subject and around the horizon. And you can also adjust the opacity to see where you're at. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this for now, and I'm gonna come back to it later. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and go down to the final image edit, and I'm gonna add more color. And I'm gonna play that again. If it's not intense enough, you can play these actions as many times as you want. I'll go ahead and play again. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and step my cloud layer, press play. And now I'm gonna go grab a cloud brush. Now it's hard to tell which one you're gonna wanna use, so you can go ahead and just play with the different brushes to kind of get an idea of which one you want to use. When you pull it up, you can see what kind it is. So you can go ahead and click around and pick one of your favorites. Next, I'm going to up the opacity to 100, and I'm going to select D on my keyboard to reset my colors back to default, and I'm going to switch over to white. Otherwise, you can just double click here and select white. I'm using the bracket on my keyboard. The left bracket key is to make my brush smaller, and the right bracket key is to make it bigger. You can also adjust it here. There's a slider right here for your size. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint on, click on my cloud. And I'm going to select some different ones here. Okay, so just a quick example. Now that I have my cloud layer, what you're going to be seeing is it's going to be going behind her. So I'm going to go back and select my soft brush again. And I'm going to, if you want to, you can use the same layer mask on here if you want to kind of be lazy, or if you don't need to, if you don't want to do it all over again. So all you do is select that layer mask and select Alt and drag it up to your new one, and then you can kind of paint it. It'll apply that same layer mask to this one. So now what you can do if you want to is you can paint that back. Or you can just do it the other way and just paint it off. I just find this a little bit quicker. I'm actually going to erase this part of the cloud off because it's a little too close to the horizon for my liking. Okay, so now I have my cloud layers there, and now what I'm going to want to do next is blur them. You can either blur them lightly by selecting Blur My Cloud, or you can blur even more by clicking this one. And also, just so you know, these are cloud resize or rotator actions. All these do is it helps you further edit your cloud. So what you want to do is select not the layer mask but the actual cloud layer, and then you can just press play and it'll adjust them for how you like it. If you want to change the cloud perspective, you can press play, again have your cloud layer selected, and then you can drag out the corners and you can completely change your cloud perspective for your sky. So I'm going to go ahead and blur. Then you can kind of see it looks a little more realistic because our background is blurry. So that's one of the main things that are important with these clouds and your sky is you want it to match your image. So it wouldn't make sense if your clouds were not blurry at all, but the rest of your image was. So now that I have them blurred, it might have blurred onto her a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in and make sure that I don't have any white residue left on her hair. I'm gonna select the backslash so I can kind of see what's going on here. It looks like I could paint some of it back on to all the red spots or the spots where the layer mask is applied. Let's see what it looks like bringing this piece back. Well, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so now I have my clouds on my sky. My image looks like from, this is the before, and this is the after. You can also add warming actions if you want, or cooling, and you can always adjust the opacity of each layer up here. If you only want your subject to be warm, you can select Control-I, and you can invert that that layer mask, and then you can go ahead and paint it on only your subject with the white brush. So that way, now the warmth is only applied to her. Okay, so here is our before and after. I'm going to go ahead and show you another image. This image, I wanted to show you the sky is really far away. So for this one, you might want to use a cloud brush that is further away, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to go down to my brushes. Now I'm going to want to select one that's kind of got a bunch. So you kind of want it to match your landscape. Like a big puffy cloud right here wouldn't really make sense. I'm just kind of looking at all the skies here. So like this one is a good example. It's further away. Now I'm just going to show you a quick example. I'm not going to edit this whole image. But you can see it's further away, and it works a little better for this image. And then you can go ahead and further edit and blur or whatever you feel like. So you can see there's different clouds for different situations. So we have our before and after. So that's basically how you use your Sky Builder cloud brushes and your action collection. I hope it was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.